The British Truck Racing Championship 2017 brought to you by Goodyear and Towergate Insurance. A very warm welcome to Pembrey Circuit here in Carmarthenshire for the penultimate event of the 2017 British Truck Racing Championship. Championship leader Ryan Smith qualified on pole position and led the ranks away for the first race of the weekend. Stuart Oliver to his outside, row 2, Shane Brereton and David Jenkins. Into Hatchett's corner, and Brereton looking up the inside line of Oliver. Oliver being squeezed. Oh, bang, little tap there from Brereton, forcefully making his way into Debenny corner and into second place and chasing Ryan Smith, who was to head away and grab another win to extend his championship lead. Ray Coleman was doing a good job in the number 2, dicing hard here with former champion David Jenkins, and in behind a new name to truck racing, the 23 machine, MAN TGX of Jamie Anderson, better known as a rallyman. Jamie really impressing on his debut, getting in the mix and having a good dice here with Ray Coleman. Out front it was still Ryan Smith, Stuart Oliver trying to close down on Shane Brereton, but Brereton holding on to that second position as Ryan Smith took the checkered flag. Smith the winner, Shane Brereton just a second and a half behind, then Stuart Oliver from Matt Summerfield, Ray Coleman, Jamie Anderson 6th from Terry Gibbon, Michael Oliver 8th and David Jenkins completing the finishers in 9th position. So Ryan Smith of course in the reverse grid format with a lot of work to do before he can make it a double. It's David Jenkins on the front of the grid with Michael Oliver, Terry Gibbon and Jamie Anderson row 2, Ray Coleman on row 3 with Matt Summerfield, then Stuart Oliver and Shane Brereton. Ryan Smith completing the lineup here on this 1.5 mile Pembrey circuit. And the great thing about these reverse grid races, if you don't get the rub of the green in race number 1, as long as you finish, you're off the front in race 2. Super start by Michael Oliver, who dies in front of David Jenkins, who doesn't look happy, but it's Jamie Anderson who makes a super start and leads them going down into the... They all at the same bit of track at the hairpin, and Michael Oliver muscles his way through on the inside line. Jenkins is getting back into it. We've got a black truck sandwich here. Look at Jenkins on the grass, gets the power down. Back end wants to come around. The only thing that really does come around though is Matt Summerfield, who's going to go up into 3rd place. The former champion in the 84 HRVS truck goes through and into 3rd place. Champions galore of course in Division 1. Ray Coleman in the mix in number 2. Ryan Smith picked up a couple of trucks already off the bat, but it's Jamie Anderson. He'll be known, the name will be known to rally fans. He is out front. What a welcome addition to the grid Jamie Anderson is, and what a great start that was from him. Michael Oliver was bundled out of it. Here is Stuart Oliver to add to the podium he had in race number 1. The man they're all going to be trying to take points away from though is Ryan Smith in the red, white and green number 1, the PT Hire Taylor's transport truck all over the back of Stuart Oliver. Has a look up the inside line, goes back out to the wide outside. We're on board with Stuart now, looking ahead. David Jenkins immediately in front of the number 7. Look how close they get to the pit wall. You wonder why they don't let people stand on the pit wall at these truck races. Down into the hairpin we go again. Oliver under pressure. I tell you what, Ryan Smith here doing nothing rash, just picking his line and waiting for the moment. Dave Jenkins off on the grass again. Jenkins to the back of the field. We can expect a recovery from him through the back. Terry Gibbon immediately in front in the 37, the T-Sport Racing truck, but now it's the Olivers embroiled in battle. Michael goes wide, Stuart through on the inside. So Oliver is going to be followed through here, I think, by Ryan Smith. Ryan not doing anything rash again, picking them off one by one. when he's able to do it. Let's watch the champion at work here. See if he can go for the inside line. He does on Michael Oliver. Michael not looking too happy at the moment. Through on the inside line as well goes Ray Coleman. So Coleman through in the 2 truck. Going through as well is Shane Brereton, the tour trucks machine, and Terry Gibbon nips through on the inside line as well. So it looks as though Michael Oliver is going to find himself at the wrong end of things here. Stuart Oliver trying to close up on Jamie Anderson. Look at Ryan Smith all over the back of the multi-champion. Smith to the outside line here, side by side into the hairpin. This is brave stuff from Ryan Smith. I think he realised he couldn't get it done. Has he gone wide enough to get a decent run out of the hairpin? Possibly. Looks up the inside, then realises he hasn't got the momentum. Back to the outside line, into Benny corner, still following Stuart Oliver. This is a real game of cat and mouse between these two. Oliver in 3rd place. It's still Matt Summerfield out front, Jamie Anderson 2nd, Stuart Oliver in 3rd. There's the 2nd place man on his debut weekend. A good weekend to make your debut here. A knowledgeable crowd always convening at Pembrey Circuit to watch their truck racing, and traditionally get 2 meetings per season, essentially towards either end of the season. Normally the 2nd event of the year after the Brands Hatch opener, and also the penultimate event of the year before the big November fireworks at Brands Hatch, which we can't wait for, but we've got a lot of racing to get through today. Brereton over the back of Coleman here, so some good dicing going on all the way down the field. Let's see what Brereton can do. Getting close, gives a little nudge to Coleman there. I'm not sure how helpful that is. We got black and white driving standards flag going out as well. Right up against the pit wall now is Ryan Smith, who's got momentum and surely will take 3rd place. Smith thought about that one and now goes through into 3rd position. Jamie Anderson immediately in front. You can see Michael Oliver ahead of these guys. It's still Matt Summerfield leading this one. Summerfield having a good second half of the season for Matt Summerfield, getting to grips with a new truck, remember, the multi-champion, and I'm sure he's going to be fighting for, he's fighting for overall honours now, but probably more so next year. So it's Summerfield. Anderson goes through shot, then we've got Smith followed by the senior of the 2 Olivers, then Ray Coleman, followed by Shane Brereton, whose championship campaign just lost a little bit of momentum with that heavy damage that he had at Snetterton weekend. He looks up the inside line of Coleman though and goes through. Coleman on the outside flicks back in to try and get momentum going. Needs to stay ahead of Terry Gibbon and the MAN in black, the Digraph 69 machine of Dave Jenkins. Super battle on for the lead. Ryan Smith has got momentum. He's got the fastest lap again. Smith had fastest lap in race 1, but it's Matt Summerfield who's holding sway here. The battle of the 2 drivers that have the last 2 champions in this formula, and Smith's got the inside run here, so Ryan Smith's going to go through and into the lead. Ryan Smith goes through, passes Matt Summerfield. Summerfield down to 2nd, and Ryan Smith from the very back of this field has come through, but runs wide, and Matt Summerfield's going back on the inside. Matt Summerfield will not be beaten by Ryan Smith if he can help it. He's trying to edge him onto the grass and take the track away. He's got it back. Summerfield back into the lead. Fantastic racing. Smith doesn't like it, flashes his lights. Summerfield under pressure again. Ryan Smith trying everything to go through. Racing line here. Remember, these trucks limited to 100 miles per hour, so it's all about momentum, and Smith working the lines really well here. Goes back to the outside, coming down into Honda corner. Long speedway straight. Let's see whether Summerfield can hang on to it. They're coming into Honda now. Smith on the outside line. He's going to try and get more momentum down the straight. Here they come side by side for the lead across the line onto the last lap. 1.5 miles to go at Pembrey, and it's Ryan Smith on the outside, but Summerfield should fancy his chances on the inside. Hard onto the brakes. Stuart Oliver waiting to pick up the crumbs here, and in fact getting involved in the lead battle now. Oliver closing in on them. Look at this. I said he was watching. No way. He's racing hard. He's caught them. It's still Summerfield. Smith in 2nd. Stuart Oliver in 3rd. Oliver's going to have a look, see if he can go past. This has changed the dynamic of the race, because Ryan Smith will have to look in his mirrors to see what Stuart Oliver's up to. He could challenge for the lead, but an outside run again could leave the door open for Stuart Oliver to come through. This is why the fans come to Pembrey. 3 Division 1 trucks all together, headed, and how many championships are in the mix there? Goodness only knows. Oliver still chasing from third. Ryan Smith immediately ahead of us in second, and Matt Summerfield still holding on. Smith still with the fastest lap. Back on lap 9. We're on the last lap. Summerfield's getting away here. He's got a lead. It's Ryan Smith in second position, coming into Honda. Surely Matt Summerfield's going to pick up his first win of the weekend. One win to Ryan Smith in race 1. It is going to be Summerfield. Checkered flag at the ready here at Pembrey. Summerfield, Smith, third across the line, Stuart Oliver. Superb Division 1 race, and it's one apiece for Smith and Summerfield. Last year's champion against the multi-champion from the year before and the year before that. And Matt Summerfield rightly very happy with that drive. He lost the lead at one stage but got back in front of Ryan Smith to take the win. Here's how they finished. Summerfield, Smith, Jamie Anderson getting third in the final result, ahead of Stuart Oliver. Ray Coleman fifth from David Jenkins, then Terry Gibbon, Shane Brereton in eighth, and Michael Oliver completing the finishes.
Matt Summerfield, what a cracking race.
Yeah, got quite delighted to be fair after yesterday's blunders. We had a few technical issues yesterday, but we got through. But no, I was well chuffed, mate. We had a lucky start, to be fair. Some doors opened up and we got through, and then just ran like the wind. But just trying to just keep it under control. Once I'd slipped by Michael Oliver there, that obviously just took a bit of time, and then Ryan took advantage of that and just loomed in. And as soon as you see him on your case, then you just got to go a bit defensive then, and then your lap times just drop off. You know what I mean?
Ryan Smith, top of the leaderboard when you came into this. Racing doesn't get much better than that.
You know, I really enjoyed that, to be fair, but Matt was blocking like everywhere, and like I got up the inside of him round the back about 6 or 7 times, and he shut the door. And I'm leading the championship, so fair play to Matt. He deserved a bit of luck probably, but Lady Luck was on his side today.
Jamie, always great to see new drivers on the grid, but you made a bit of a mark already.
Yeah, definitely. This is his first weekend racing, and I can't thank Dave Jenkins Motorsport enough for what they've done for me. It's been good. It's a bit of a different to what I'm used to. I'm normally used to forest trees and rally cars, gravel, running against the clock, and never used to anything contact or race play.
What was going through your mind when you come in for that rolling start?
I was more worried about the people behind me. Was the main thing, all these stories you hear about truck racing and the pile up there into turn 1. So I led it for the first 2 or 3 laps, then obviously backed off a bit more. The other guys were faster, so I've just got to work on a few different techniques and see where they're gaining speed and time, and we can go from there really.
Great to see new drivers coming into the grid. The Division 2's kicked off as they left off at Snetterton. Mika Mackinnon qualifying on pole position. Luke Garrett taking the battle to him in the early stages. Tony Smith got involved, also got on the grass. Sami Oyanen going through on the inside line. Mackinnon looking for his first ever win, incredibly, at Pembrey. Steve Powell and Adam Bint in the mix as well. Sadly, it was to be a retirement for Luke Garrett, meaning that victory in the first race of the weekend went to Mika Mackinnon from his Finnish compatriot Sami Oyanen in second, Steve Powell third from Adam Bint, Paul Makumsky in fifth, then Brad Smith from Tony Smith, Trevor Martin in eighth from Andrew Fulcher, and Jim Bennett in 10th.
We've got a lead of more than 60 points with still 5 races to go.
Race number 2 took 2 goes to get going. Steve Powell though, absolute flyer first time around. Andrew Fulcher getting the better of Jim Bennett. So Powell establishes the lead. Fulcher second. Tony Smith up into third ahead of Adam Bint. Good progress here by Luke Garrett. Non-finished in race number 1, so started off the back in race 2. And that progress did come to a halt. Here he is though, passing Paddy Mack. And then, hard on the brakes, into Hatchett's hairpin. Doesn't make it to the hairpin. Locks up on the grass, gets stuck on the grass. And that causes a red flag to the first attempt at race 2. Race 3, the 2 teammates side by side. Pole position to Steve Powell in the HGV direct truck, and his Team Power teammate, the Lenham-backed machine of Andrew Fulcher. Let's see. You're probably guessing that Steve Powell's going to have the legs on him, and he does. Paul Makumsky is third. Then we've got not the quickest of starts from the Mad Croc. Sami Oyanen getting around ahead of his teammate, and it's Powell leading. Paul Makumsky looking up for second. Third position is Andrew Fulcher. Then Sami Ojanen from the Mad Croc. Champion-elect here, Mika Mäkinen. Now, he, as well as scoring points, of course, the number of points available to other drivers diminishes. And Mäkinen, to be fair, had one hand on the trophy coming here to Pembrey. There he is in the 71. The Finn, who's renowned not for showing any emotion at all on the podium, or the podium that we have with the truck racing, but he tends to let his driving do the talking. And that race win that he took in race number 1, his first win here at Pembrey. Trevor Martin on the outside line, Brad Smith coming through. There's Jim Bennett, who's made the long trip, not as far as the Finns, but come down from Norfolk for this one after issues for him at Snetterton. Great weekend we had at Snetterton. Race fans enjoyed the truck racing here. It's a full field, everybody going to score points here in the 10 runners. Martin headed by Brad Smith at the moment, with Steve Powell away and down the road in lead place. But here's a great battle shaping up with Ojanen looking down the inside, the Finn about to pass the Kent-based driver who's got a wide line coming in. Couldn't quite get on the brakes fast enough or hard enough there, the 96. So Ojanen stays in behind Andrew Fulcher. This is the battle for third place. Watch out for Simon Cole in the beast in the mix as well. I'll tell you what, Fulcher's reading the racetrack real well here. He knew that he got the inside line teed up, and Ojanen's not got enough momentum to go around the outside here. Might need to flick back, maybe look at the inside line on the far part of the circuit. But Fulcher doing a super job here, really still learning his racecraft. He's only done a little bit of car racing in the BRSCC's Alfa Romeo Championship, and coming into trucks this year and gaining confidence, but so too is Ojanen, who puts the Mad Crop machine down the inside line, finally goes through. But look at the momentum being offered here by the 41 truck of Simon Cole, who comes through as well. And also in the mix is the 71 machine of Mika Mäkinen, who goes through. So Mäkinen in fact passes Cole as well as Fulcher. So big sort out happening here, and Mäkinen doing what he's done pretty much all season. Qualifies well, goes out, bags a shed load of points in race 1, and then once we get into the reverse grid territory, enjoys coming through the field. That's why we're seeing overseas drivers coming over and joining us in the British Championship, because we do have this reverse format, and it means that even if you've got a faster truck, you still have to work in order to take the race win. Here's Steve Powell, he was off the front. The HGV direct truck looking very handy at the moment. Man from Rootham Heath running well and clear of the field. This is looking like a win here for Steve Powell. The two Finns still running well, and Sami Ojanen now been passed by the 71 truck of Mika Mäkinen, the champion-elect. Simon Cole down the order as well. Then we've got a little bit of a battle developing between Brad Smith and Andrew Fulcher. Let's see if Brad can catch him. Andrew taking a good line there again. So interesting battle between those two. Paul McCumsky second. The yellow truck going through the shot is race leader Steve Powell. Paddy Mack, Paul McCumsky second. Third place is Mika Mäkinen, and Malika already from the back of these 10 trucks up into a podium position, and may well convert to another win, but he's really going to have to get his skates on to close down on Steve Powell. Mäkinen has got the fastest lap so far. Still this battle between Brad Smith and Andrew Fulcher. Brad Smith chasing him, takes a wider line on the run down into the hairpin from the fastest point of the racetrack to the slowest. And we look across, Steve Powell goes through shot. Here is Paul McCumsky, still running in second, and Smith finally finds a gap. He's caught Fulcher, looks down the inside line, goes through. Super job there, through on the inside line. Brad Smith, Andrew Fulcher, still learning his race car. So too is Brad Smith. Trevor Martin is in behind as well in the 19 truck. Steve Powell out front, and now a change on for second place. Paul McCumsky is passed by Mika Mäkinen. The Finn goes through, so Paddy down to third place, but passing it back. What's happened there? It looked Mäkinen's going into the pit lane. Mika Mäkinen, is that going to be a retirement or a diagnostic? But Paul McCumsky's back into second place. Sami Ojanen is going to take third place now. Mäkinen in the pits. Then we've got Brad Smith followed by Andrew Fulcher. Trevor Martin in the mix as well, trying to come through. Goodness me, we've got Tony Smith in the pit lane as well in the 46 Sisu, but the race leader looking safe now. You have to say, with Mackinnon out of the race, that Steve Powell is looking like he's got this one wrapped up. Look back, where's the second truck? Paul McCumpsky a fair way down, and Steve Powell here at Pembrey. This could set himself up for a decent meeting on home tarmac at Brands Hatch in November. Steve Powell, of course, will take the wins wherever he goes, but Brands Hatch could well be a good swan song for his 2017 racing season. Paul McCumpsky looks like he might be closing in a little bit here. The gap has come down hugely. Now, has Powell got a problem? McCumpsky seems to be closing in. Is Steve Powell sandbagging, or is there a problem? He didn't go into the pit, so if he has got an issue, it's not terminal. And Paul McCumpsky's all over the back of him. It goes to the outside line. McCumpsky goes past him and takes the lead. Powell definitely has got a problem. And Paddy Mack has got the lead. Paul McCumpsky is in front. What a topsy-turvy race this has been. And Paul McCumpsky's there. We won't count our chickens yet because they've still got to get to the flag. But it's Paddy Mack out front. Second position, Steve Powell. Third place, Sami Oyanen. Oyanen goes past as well. Powell is, I think, nursing that truck and doing a good job of doing so to keep it running at the moment. He wants to try and get a few points here. Doesn't look like he's going to get too many here, sadly, Steve Powell. He's being passed, I was going to say left, right and centre, but basically being passed to the right by everybody. So Powell still getting around. Trevor Martin's gone through. So the race leader is Paul McCumpsky in the Volvo. He's going to take the win by the look of it. Rounds the Honda corner here and will take the checkered flag. Here it is, Paddy Mack. That's going to be a popular win. McCumpsky from Brad Smith. Andrew Fulcher gets a podium in third place. Well done, Andrew. Brad Smith 2. Jim Bennett 4th from Trevor Martin. Mika Mackinnon in 6th and Steve Powell 7th.
Paddy, another successful win for you. Pembrey seems to suit you.
Yeah, it's a track that I like, and I was a bit sickened when the first red flag come out because I'd made good progress, kept out of all the trouble on the second corner where everybody was going off, and I'd got myself up to 4th then, but when it was restarted again, I just kept out of trouble again, and me and Steve Powell, we were just away, but Stephen had a intercooler pipe come off on the last but one lap and handed me the win, really.
Brad, first full season of actually truck racing. I remember seeing you here last year when you were testing the water, and now your first podium.
Yeah, it's going really well. We've improved things in the last sort of few months with the truck, and it's really going well now. Handles well. It's on song now. So
Truck looks immaculate as ever. Got some new sponsors behind you as well. Just tell us who's with you.
Yeah, well, we've got Unity Recovery on board. He's the main one in Leicester. He's been a good help.
Andrew, congratulations. Not only was that a cracking race, but first podium of your racing career.
Yeah, absolutely over the moon. Absolutely, great result for the team. Lots of thanks to do. Wayne Eason, John Powell, Brad Smith, obviously Steve himself, and all the sponsors. Absolutely over the moon with that. It's got it where it needs to be now. So yeah, really pleased with it, and it stands us in good stead for Brands Hatch. Yeah, it really does.
Surely this must mean we see you for the next campaign next year as well.
I think so. Yeah. Obviously the high of that of a podium finish this weekend. That's given me the spur it needs. Obviously it's been a bit frustrating up till this point for me and all the team, but I think that's really made the difference. So yeah, I don't think I'm going anywhere else next year.
Steve Powell, excellent start to the weekend. Third place in race 1, some great pace there. Race 2, great pace again, was a big lead, and then something happened. What was the story?
Yeah, we had the third place in the first race. Had a bit of luck, a couple of the top boys come off, and then second race had a brilliant start before the red flag, and then a good start again on the restart. Then the intercooler part come off the top of the turbo, unfortunately, so we lost all the power and it went into limp mode. But I know there was only a couple of laps left, so we just nursed it around and give us pole position for today. So hopefully, it's fixed anyway, so it's just hopefully it lasts and we'll have a good result today.
Some blistering pace there. You're about 7.5, 8 seconds ahead at one point.
Yeah, no, I had a really, really good start, to be fair. The traffic went the right way for once, and just got my head down and just carried on. unfortunate for the red flag, because I think if we hadn't had the red flag, I think the pipe would have lasted for the race, obviously. But it is what it is. Then same thing again, but the pace was good. We struggled a bit in qualifying, but then we got the power back up, and we've done an engine rebuild before here. So Ashley and the boys have worked really, really hard. So it's good to get out there and good to finish in the races as well, and for the team as well. I mean, Andrew's had a blinding result yesterday. It's nice to get us there. We was 1 and 2 at one point, which would have been even better. But so we've got 2 races today, so we'll see what happens.
Mika Mäkinen secured the 2017 Division 2 title. We offered our congratulations to him and asked him what his highlight was of the season so far.
Kiitos vaan fiiliksestä, totta kai hyvät, mutta paras hetki on vasta tulos, kun 4 kisaa voitetaan Brandsatsissa. Kaukokoiviston kanssa on tehty yhteistyötä 10 vuotta ja 5 mestaruutta on sen kanssa voitettu. Joka vuosi kun ollaan tehty yhteistyötä ja muutenkin mekaanikot on hyviä. Mätrokki on ollut sponsorina 6 vuotta.
Congratulations again to Mika Mäkinen. Starts on the front row with Steve Powell. Jim Bennett and Trevor Martin due to start on row number 2. Indeed, there they are. And away we go. Tony Smith very quick off the start in 46. Is already up into 3rd place. And it's Powell versus Mäkinen. Side by side. Into the hairpin. Jim Bennett goes wide round Trevor Martin. Brad Smith renews battle here with Andrew Fulcher. Interesting scrap between those two, and miraculously great driving standards from all of them. Nobody going off on the grass. That was the miraculous bit. Normally you see at least one truck going very wide, but Smith now challenging for 2nd place. Smith on the outside line here. Let's see whether he can go through and pass the champion. He does. He's got a good turn of speed. Looked very quick out of the hairpin. So it's Steve Powell, the race leader. Tony Smith 2nd. Mika Mäkinen is 3rd. I did love the prediction that he's going to win all 5 at Brands Hatch. That remains to be seen. You can't fault the commitment of the Finnish driver, really coming here to the UK and also to Pembrey to wrap up the championship. He had a decent points lead. He could have carried that to Brands Hatch, but he's here. He's supported all the rounds. He's done a super job. Somebody doing well here in 42 is Luke Garrett. So Garrett up ahead of Jim Bennett, then Trevor Martin, followed by Brad Smith. Then we've got Paul McCumpsky coming through. Adam Bint is a little bit off colour, had a dismal time at Snetterton. Adam Bint, the outgoing champion, of course, Adam Bint. Let's give him due respect as Tony Smith goes past on the outside line, and Tony Smith adjudged to have jumped the start. A 10-second penalty for the Blue 46 truck for a false start. He was very quick off the line. Trevor Martin and Brad Smith engaged in battle. Then Adam Bint, followed by Simon Cole. Sami Ojanen is in the mix as well. And Steve Powell here at the minute, heading Mika Mäkinen. I wonder how much motivation is lost once you've won the championship. Mäkinen's still out there. Luke Garrett in the mix as well. So Garrett busy challenging for a podium here. Looks up the inside line of Mäkinen. Wipers on for him. Leaves the door open. Garrett through on the inside. Runs a little bit on the curb. Again, nobody taking to the grass. We're seeing some exemplary driving here from the Division 2 trucks. Well, Steve Powell still out front of Luke Garrett. Garrett on the grass. That's going to do him no favours at all. That's in the barrier. A nasty hit into the barrier. And again, that was a relatively slow hit. That's going to bring the Reds out for sure. Garrett will be a non-finisher. The win goes to Steve Powell from Mika Mäkinen. Tony Smith's penalty drops him to 3rd. Trevor Martin next from Brad Smith. Then Adam Bint, Sami Ojanen, Paul McCumpsky next up from Andrew Fulcher and Jim Bennett. Superb show truck presence once again here at Pembrey, and congratulations to our winners. Owner-operator Simon Postons, company-owned Tom Nutt, Best American, Best Customer, Best Interior Graham Paul Transport, Best Recovery, Special Types Freedom Recycling, Best Custom Brian Alexander, Best Rigid, Light Commercial and Best Semi-Custom BT Jones, Best Fleet going to EW Gardner, and the Best Classic, Restored and indeed Best in Show going to Gareth Smart. Very well done to everybody who took part once again. Division 1 boys hitting the track with Michael Oliver and Shane Brereton on the front row, Terry Gibbon and David Jenkins on row 2, Ray Coleman and Stuart Oliver on the 3rd row. Matt Summerfield, of course, starts at the back by virtue of the win from last time. Hold on to your hats, here we go, Division 1 truck racing. Michael Oliver on the inside, Shane Brereton goes for the sweep in the Kelso machine, the Kelser, Tor Tanker takes the lead down into the hairpin. Dave Jenkins on the outside. Terry Gibbon's going to try and switch back on the inside line in 37. Gibbon read that well. Gibbon through into the lead. Superb stuff from Terry Gibbon. Nipped through. That was real opportunity for Terry Gibbon. He leads this one in 37. Michael Oliver second. Shane Brereton third. Dave Jenkins is in fourth place. But Gibbon, wow, absolutely fantastic from him. All of these drivers capable, of course, of taking wins on the day. Michael Oliver still waiting for his first win, but he's been on the podium, and I don't think that first checker is too far away. Michael's dad, Stuart, with a good view of the rear end of David Jenkins' machine. You can see visibility can get difficult in these trucks. Fifth position at the moment for the bonneted number 7. That's the one we had the onboard with. Immediately behind Jamie Anderson, coming under pressure from Championship leader Ryan Smith. Then we've got the HRVS truck of Matt Summerfield getting stuck in as well. Smith trying to pass Anderson. Very valuable addition, Anderson, to the Championship roster, performing well on his debut. You heard that him say he's an ex-rally man. I love the way he said that he hasn't done contact racing before. Sure, I know what he meant. It's just hasn't been involved in the cut and thrust of side-by-side action. Summerfield has obviously gained confidence in that 84 truck. Look at the outside line of Ryan Smith there, but it's still Terry Gibbon out front. Gibbon from Brereton. Dave Jenkins in third. Jenkins has a look up the inside line, can't quite go through to claim second place, and he'll look in his mirrors and he'll see Michael Oliver, Stuart Oliver looking down the inside line of Michael, but maybe too far back to make a move. Ryan Smith on the inside line of Jamie Anderson. Matt Summerfield too far back, maybe to go through as well. Oliver still chasing. Michael uses all the runoff there, so Oliver Jr. ahead of Dad. Down the back straight they run, the Speedway straight, and into Honda corner. It's a very fast corner indeed, and as I've mentioned before, they go around this very fast corner, then on the main straight, and then hard on the brakes. You really have to have these trucks set up not only to accelerate and handle the corners well, but also to have supreme stoppage too. Here they come, down into the hairpin. Michael Oliver leaves a wide line. Is this for his dad to nip through on the inside line? Ryan Smith was on the outside here. This could see Stuart Oliver go through and make up a place. Ryan's got to chop back on the inside, which he does. Ahead of Jamie Anderson. Anderson still there ahead of the blue truck, just poking his nose in down through on the inside line. But switching, of course, to the outside, the nature of the circuit here. Ryan Smith trying to tee up the inside for the next corner. Anderson getting stuck into Michael Oliver. Ryan Smith still there down behind Stuart Oliver at the moment and looks to the inside line. He's going to go through. Smith goes through, passes Oliver. The Synergy truck is past. Ryan Smith goes past Stuart Oliver. The reigning champion makes up another place. We need to do the maths and work out whether Ryan Smith can successfully claim the title here at Pembrey. I don't think he's going to be able to do it, but should be early doors at Brands Hatch if that's the way. Oh, contact there, Michael Oliver on the back end of Jamie Anderson. That's a fast one. Anderson's heading towards the barrier. Oliver on the grass. Also on the grass is Matt Summerfield. Ray Coleman definitely goes through on the inside. And Anderson, I'm not sure if he hit the barrier. There's certainly damaging evidence on Shane Brereton's truck. Brereton on the outside of Terry Gibbon, who's still out front in 37, still really smiling over that move that Terry put on, exiting the hairpin on the first corner. Superb move to grab the lead, but he is under pressure from Brereton, and then Jenkins, who in turn has got Ryan Smith all over the back of him as well. Smith looking for third place. Gibbon still the race leader. Smith with fastest lap of the race again and building momentum. He's going to try and find a way past Jenkins here. He'll look down the inside line. The great thing about Pembrey is you've got lefts and rights, so those tend to switch over. So it means that you can defend, but also it means that you can sell dummies and try and go through. Stuart Oliver's caught up with Ryan Smith now, back in the mix. Oliver knows this game very well indeed, still challenging Ryan Smith, who momentarily sort of backs away from David Jenkins. He's getting sucked into a bit of a battle with Stuart Oliver here. Given tight to the pit wall, doesn't do a lot for our camera. And here comes Brereton. Of got to say, I think Shane's championship chase has just lost a little bit of momentum. He did have those problems at Snetterton, but he'll carry on and try and get in the silverware at the end of the season. Now looks at the inside of Gibbon and goes through. Brereton up into the lead. Gibbon down to second. Is that going to be third? Because Jenkins was looking through as well. Matt Summerfield still trying to deal here with Michael Oliver. Remember, Summerfield was on the grass along with Oliver after that incident with Jamie Anderson. And Jamie did in fact get going, so fair play to him. Cut and thrust of truck racing it is. I'm sure he's enjoying it. He's acquitting himself very well. Jenkins still in front of Ryan Smith. Gibbon in turn is in front of him, with Shane Brereton still at the head of the field. This is now about tactics, I reckon, between this quintet headed by Brereton. We're going to see Brereton. He's due a win here, Shane Brereton, in the 17. So it's Brereton, Gibbon, then Jenkins in third place from Smith and Oliver Senior. Stuart Oliver with the 4 trucks in front of him. And through on the inside line, Ryan Smith set that up well. Stuart Oliver's going to try and follow through and grab 4th position. Welcome back to Pembrey. What a race we got on here. This quartet all fighting over 2nd position. Down the road at the moment is Shane Brereton. Through on the inside line and challenging Terry Gibbon for 2nd is Ryan Smith, the championship leader. Teed that up well, goes through, passes Terry Gibbon, who's down to 3rd place. Watch for David Jenkins, the 2 black trucks, Jenkins and Stuart Oliver. Another black truck here. Jamie Anderson said he got going again. Fair play to him. Just looking over the truck, looks okay. But, well, he said about contact racing, and that was indeed a little bit of contact with Michael Oliver early on in the race. But Jamie running in 9th place is going to pick up 2 championship points here. Once again, just for finishing, as we watch Oliver and Gibbon engaging in battle. Gibbon's racecraft at that first corner, exceptional. If he gets the truck tuned up a little bit more. Now as Ryan Smith comes through, Ryan Smith challenging Brereton for the lead. I thought he was closer than he actually was. And he's certainly putting pressure on the race leader, so Brereton out front. Ryan Smith chasing him down. Ryan looks like he's got momentum. He's got fastest lap once again. 3rd place, Gibbon gets demoted and he's now down in 5th because through goes David Jenkins. So the racing order: Brereton, Smith, Oliver, Jenkins, Gibbon. Ray Coleman is running in 6th place. And here's the battle for the lead. What can Ryan Smith do about Shane Brereton? I get the impression here that Brereton, he looks battle scarred. It looks like he's hanging on to the lead. He worked hard to get past Terry Gibbon and he's defensive at the moment, rightly so. Let's see whether Ryan Smith can gain momentum anywhere by taking a wide line in. He's teeing himself up here along Speedway Straight. Has a look, does no harm at all, showing himself in the mirrors of the race leader. There's the entrance to the pit lane, so they're coming through Honda corner, and Smith putting him under pressure. That is the last lap board going out, and Smith gets a very good run out of Honda, dives on the inside line, but 17's got momentum. Brereton's still there, and now Smith dives down the inside hard on the brakes into the hairpin. He doesn't use the 17 truck as a brake, but goes through. Now, I can tell you this, Ryan Smith does not need to do that sort of manoeuvre to go into the lead, but you could see the reaction from the crowd there, and most of the crowd here at Pembrey are on the first 2 or 3 corners. They were applauding that move by Ryan Smith. He could coast to a championship title, but he is still fighting and he wants every single race win that he can get. Brereton 2nd, 3rd is Oliver, 4th Jenkins, 5th Terry Gibbon still. You can see Ray Coleman in the mix as well, up ahead of Matt Summerfield. Summerfield is 7th, then Michael Oliver and Jamie Anderson. That's the way they roll on this last lap of the penultimate race for Division 1 of the weekend. Into the final corner goes Ryan Smith, who's going to bag another win. Smith is going to take the checkered flag, tail out and down to the checker. Smith wins. Ryan Smith the winner. Shane Brereton 2nd. 3rd position goes to Stuart Oliver. David Jenkins was 4th from Terry Gibbon, Ray Coleman in 6th, then Matt Summerfield, Michael Oliver and Jamie Anderson in 9th.
Ryan, congratulations. This format of starting at the back and coming to the front is getting a bit of a habit.
Learning every time. And I knew where I was going to have a go at Shane, and I just sold him the dummy and he bought it. I thought I'm going to show him the inside first, because turn 1 it's the tightest in the calendar, which is fantastic by the way. But I thought I'll show him the inside first so he has to go defensive. And then I thought, okay, you're going defensive. I dropped on the outside and he come with me. I thought, too late. Boom.
Shane, congratulations. What a well-fought battle there. I thought you had that for a while, but these podium visits are getting more frequent as the season continues.
Yeah, they are. I thought I had that covered, but obviously not enough.
He's very rapid round here, and he's known for sort of selling dummies and stuff like that as regards to racing lines. So he was just on a confusion, I think, as you went into those final laps.
He was a lot quicker than me running a complex. I felt that's where probably he could have had me easy, in all honesty, not a dive. But he has got it going well.
Final race of the weekend for the Division 2 boys saw Adam Bint starting off the front. Andrew Fulcher initially in second from Paddy Mack. Keeping his starting check this time was Tony Smith. Side by side by side, Jim Bennett on the inside line. Mika Mäkinen to his inside. Mäkinen making quick progress through the field once again. Mäkinen coming through to deprive Binti of the lead. Binti showing a good turn of speed in this one. The new champion showing last year's champion the way around. The Mag Croc continued to pull away. Second position became a battle between Tony Smith and Adam Bint. Binti holding sway early on. Steve Powell joined in the battle too. The yellow HGV direct truck getting well stuck in. Tony Smith managing to nab second position away from the outgoing champion going into the right-hander at Dibeni. Adam Bint was then under pressure from Steve Powell. Powell giving it his all, coming through from the back of the grid. He wasn't able to get onto the podium. The win going to Mika Mäkinen. Tony Smith in second from Adam Bint in third. Steve Powell took fourth place from Paul McCumsky. Brad Smith in sixth from Trevor Martin. Then Andrew Fulcher and Jim Bennett completing the finishes.
Adam, well done. Great to see you back on the podium. Seems back on form. Close race there, and I thought Steve might just get you at the end, but you held up in front.
Yeah, the truck isn't at its optimum because we got different suspension components, but it felt a lot better than it has all weekend, so hopefully we can go to Brands fighting back.
Last race for the Division 1 boys, Jamie Anderson and Michael Oliver. They start on the front row. Then we've got Matt Summerfield and Ray Coleman on row 2. Dave Jenkins and Terry Gibbon on the third row. Shane Brereton and Stuart Oliver row 4. With all the work to do from the back of the field is Ryan Smith. So the pace truck goes into pit lane and we're ready to go truck racing for the last time. Jamie Anderson in pole position here. We're going to see another podium for him. We'll see how it pans out. Certainly off the front is how you build the confidence. That was a lightning quick start there by Michael Oliver. Oliver leads. Look at Ray Coleman though. The lantern truck, to use the cliche, lighting up the track round the outside. So too is Shane Brereton. Then we got Matt Summerfield on the inside. Terry Gibbon trying to keep it tight as well. Right at the back still Ryan Smith. He's watching what's going on. It's 3 wide there with Matt Summerfield up the inside and through and past Jamie Anderson. It's all physical stuff here off the start. The race leader though is Michael Oliver. The race officials are going to be looking very closely at that. They'll know if he jumped the start. You've got to keep it all in check. It is difficult on a rolling start, but he'll get a penalty if that was the case. Matt Summerfield the chaser, but we're looking at the moment at Ryan Smith going wide round the outside line here of Stuart Oliver. Gets that position, then gets stuck into Dave Jenkins as well. Jenkins down in behind the 17 truck of Shane Brereton. Terry Gibbon at the back of the group at the minute, feeding through. This is the last corner on the lap, Honda corner. Michael Oliver out front, Ray Coleman in second, Matt Summerfield is third. Coleman looking good here for a podium. Be good to see Ray back onto the top 3 of the race standings in Division 1. A very capable driver indeed. Hard on the brakes goes Stuart Oliver. Ryan Smith not taking any risks at all. Fascinating to hear from him. He, as I said, didn't need to push for that win. Only that move on Shane Brereton in the previous Division 1 race only gave him an extra point, but I guess a win is a tantalising prospect for any driver. Ryan Smith, he does want to win the championship, but he wants to win races and entertain the fans, which he did there. Summerfield running well. Third position Coleman, fourth is Brereton. Shane Brereton putting Coleman under a bit of pressure here. Then we've got Jamie Anderson who's holding on well. Very welcome addition. You think what Anderson's done in one meeting, holding on to positions. I think what he's going to do when he's got a load more experience next year. Very welcome addition to the grid. Then we have Paul Rivette racing in the Division 2 trucks at Snetterton, and the calibre of drivers coming in seems to get higher and higher. We've got a board going out for somebody. Now, is that a general warning? It looks like we've got a number or two on there, and down the outside line now comes Shane Brereton trying to challenge Ray Coleman, and turns in. They make contact and they're off onto the grass. I thought Coleman was going to be up for a podium, but he's in the tyres. Brereton is as well. I don't think we're going to have time to restart this race, so those two just collected each other going into the hairpin. That is disappointing. That could be the end of racing at the moment. Everybody thundering on. There's the red flag. That's what we feared here at Pembrey. It brings the racing to a premature end. It means that the race leader is Michael Oliver, but Michael being handed a penalty for that jump start. Matt Summerfield in 84 will take the win. Summerfield wins from Jamie Anderson, another podium. Dave Jenkins is third from Stuart Oliver. Ryan Smith in fifth. Terry Gibbon in sixth place. Seventh place goes to Michael Oliver. Championship standings leaving Pembrey. 39-point gap for Ryan Smith over Stuart Oliver. Dave Jenkins in third. Then Shane Brereton, Matt Summerfield, Ray Coleman and Terry Gibbon. Ollie James in 8th place from Michael Oliver and Luke Taylor. Division 2 sewn up by Mika Mackinnon. Tony Smith now second. Adam Bint and Simon Cole. Paddy Mack in 5th place from Steve Powell, John Bowler, Luke Garrett, Brad Smith and Trevor Martin.
2017 for the British Truck Racing Championship has been fantastic. Great boost in numbers to the grids in both classes. Great boost for spectators on track as well. Leads to a great finale for Brands.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, you know, the Brands, you know, is always a good event anyway, you know, and it'll be, you know, what we've had throughout the whole year, you know, so like you say, the numbers are increasing and, you know, sort of the footfall of spectators and interest in the sport's increasing, you know, sort of event by event, you know, not year by year, and it's fantastic. And, you know, we had a great event in Donington, which, you know, sort of really boosted truck racing into the sort of the spotlight, as it were, of motorsport. But, you know, truck racing now is certainly getting on the map, and Brands will be a fantastic event. You know, it'll be a good, you know, good end of season finale. You know, so there'll be still a lot of positions in the championship to be decided there. So it'll be well worth attending or watch.
We certainly hope you can join us at Brands Hatch for the finale. From Pembrey, though, that's all we've got time for. Many thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.